Highnesses, Your Excellency, welcome to Malaysia.
Okay. Yeah. That's a bit more. Ready.
To realize that, to recognize that, and to try something different. And so we, Malaysia, before this meeting, had already started trying to make contact with the different stakeholders in Myanmar to try and get a feel of what needs to be done and how they can bring, at the very first, is a ceasefire and a humanitarian, to allow humanitarian aid to come in, and certainly the other countries that are deeply affected, such as Thailand and Indonesia and Malaysia, the identification and return of the refugees who ran to their countries when the war started. So what the Philippines proposed, because in any analysis, this problem is not going to be solved in a year's time. And so I proposed to PM Anwar, which he agreed with, is that let us come to an agreement that since I am the chair for next year, that we should you should not limit yourself to making commitments or entering into agreements that may last beyond your chairmanship. Because so long as you and I agree, you, PM Anwar, and me, we agree on the principle of what you're committing to for ASEAN and for with Myanmar, and even if it continues beyond your chairmanship, we will pick it up when we become chairman, and we will build on that. So that's simply a new concept, because every time we have talked about Myanmar, we start again every single time. I've seen it in the past ASEAN, as in the past ASEAN conferences. So I think that there's new thinking now when it comes to Myanmar, and with the upcoming elections in Myanmar, there may be a hope of stability. It's a ceasefire first that we want, because the humanitarian cost is has become very, very large, and we cannot see the stakeholders in Myanmar managing to find any kind of common ground. And I'm not talking about government and the opposition. Even within the opposition, they're still squabbling, they're factionalized. So it's become quite involved and very complicated. Malaysia has appointed a special envoy to work on this, and we actually have been in consultation with Malaysia since early this year. Concerning this, I sent a special representative upon the request of Prime Minister Anwar. So that's the new approach that we are going to bring to the problems in Myanmar. As to the second subject, which is the unilateral tariff regime that is being posed on many member countries. Well, first of all, we're trying to compare each other's situation. Kasi yung ibang ASEAN members, ang laki-laki ng tariff nila. All the way ranging from what? 40, hanggang sa 10%. Sa Singapore, pinakabababa. Tayo nga, mabuti-buti. We're second from the bottom with 17%. Pero tinitingnan kasi ang sinasabi ko nga sa kanila, okay, kung negosyante ka, pwede sasabihin advantage sa atin ito. Dahil kaunti lang yung tariff sa atin, mag-export tayo, di ba? Imbis na sila mag-export, dalhin nila rito yung pabrika, whatever it is, and then dito so 17% lang ang tariff. Pero kung isipin mo, kung you keep thinking about this, who do we do business with? ASEAN. Kung bagsak sila, who do we do business with? Kung bumibili sila ng 100 tons of, I don't know, coconut, every year, or every month, whatever the number is. Tapos, humina ang kanilang ekonomiya. They can only buy 20. What will we do with the remnant? Hahanap na naman tayo ng markets. But if everybody is down, then everybody's markets will shrink. So it's a real problem. I also had actually good conversation with the Premier of China. And I asked him, Premier, what do you think? He says, well, we do not want any of this. They don't want this war. And I said, we're very worried because China is the biggest economic driver in the region. And of course, we watch very closely what is happening to the economy in China because it affects all of us. Because once again, we trade with China. We have many investments in China and we have many Chinese investments in the Philippines. So, talagang makita mo, kung matuloy itong regime na unilaterally imposed, talagang babagsak, it is a global effect. And it is not going to be a good one. There will be, I believe, a shrinkage in economic activity. I hope not. I hope I'm wrong. But so ang aming laging pinag-usapan, what will happen after the 90 days pause is over? And that's what we will. And we're just guessing. We don't know. We don't know what will happen between now and July when the 90 days runs out. We don't know how it will be different from each one country to the other. The reason I asked the Premier of China is because sabi ko, you're the center of attention, so I wanted to see what your insights were. But we are in agreement, and I in the side discussions, it was not in open session, but in the side discussions, I was telling the other leaders, I said, what we have to recognize is that kahit ano pang mangyari, kahit ibalik, bura lahat, rewind lahat, back to what it was in January. Number one, tungkol sa tariff, meron ng permanent effect na hindi na mawawala. May effect nung pag-impose ng tariff schedule na hindi na mawawala. Nandyan na. Just the risk assessment for any businesses and any investment is changed now. Because this can happen. Pwede palang mangyari ito. So yung risk assessment magbabago. So I was telling all the others, what we have to do is to identify what those changes are going to be. Is it damaging, or is it to our advantage, or is it something that we can maximize? And that's how we need to adjust. Because whatever else happens, this will change. This is changing. This will change. This has changed. First of all, the structure of world trade is completely different now from what it was before. The conclusion also that we arrived at is that we have to depend more on each other, on ASEAN. ASEAN, malakas naman ang loob namin sa ASEAN member countries. The economies are vibrant, masigla ang kanilang mga ekonomiya, masigla ang ating ekonomiya. Kaya maaari naman natin gawin. Sabihin na, kung nahihirapan yung iba, tayo na lang muna mag-usap-usap. If we cannot sell to these markets anymore, then let's sell to each other's markets. But it seems that the best, most solid way forward is to be a reliable partner for each other in ASEAN. And it's impossible for anyone to disagree because that's the obvious answer. So that's more or less what we did on those two subjects. The other feature that we didn't have in previous ASEAN meetings was the GCC, which I think is a very, very good idea. Plus the GCC China trilateral meeting. If you put these groups together, just start with the GCC and ASEAN, you put that together, that is a very important economic bloc. And if we come to a good arrangement, then that will be a rival to any kind of economic bloc anywhere in the world. And that is well recognized. Of course, as they say, the devil's in the details, so that has to be worked out. Each country has a different approach. Each country has a different context in different situations that they have to work within. So that's something, but conceptually anyway, in terms of principle, we all agreed on that. And the same thing applies with the trilateral with GCC and China and ASEAN. Talagang pag pinagsama mo lahat yan, this is a very large part of the world population and certainly a very large part of the world's wealth and economic activity and growing economic activity, energetic economic activity. So that I think was a very good initiative by PM Anwar. We spoke with both Thailand and Cambodia about opening up access to their markets for certain Philippine products. And we spoke now with Kuwait about the interaction between the Philippines and Kuwait and how they would like to, how grateful they are for the contribution that our OFWs have done to the development of their country. And they have been very kind to us. And so, although this is more or less what happened in the past couple of days.